This Spotlight is brought to you by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today I'm joined by three local nonprofits, Lizzy's Fund, the Naperville American Legion Post 43, and the Naperville Garden Club. You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from Lizzy's Fund are Bernie Slupik and Gail Diedrichson. Well, we also have two other guests, but I'm going to let you introduce them. Bernie, why don't you introduce your two friends here?
Okay, this is Pixie. She is a Papillon who will be 15 next week.
Happy birthday, Pixie.
And that is Ginger, who is a 7-year-old rescue dog who has followed in Pixie's footsteps and is also a certified therapy dog.
Okay, wonderful. Well, congratulations on your certification, Ginger. Awesome. That's awesome. Bernie, you've been around now for 10 years. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you first started, so congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Talk a little bit about how you were founded.
Lizzy was a little long-haired Chihuahua that was born a little over 30 years ago. And she lived in a wonderful home and her parents adored her. But at age 9, she suffered some severe orthopedic accident and she couldn't walk or stand anymore. So her owners took her to 2 different vets and they both suggested that she be euthanized as the humane thing because back then there was really no options like there are today. Her owners couldn't accept that. So they went and sought out alternative medical care, which in those days was very new. And they found what suited her perfectly. And after a couple days, she was standing and walking, and after a week, she was running. 7.5 years later, she had still been around, enjoying a wonderful life. And she finally passed at the age of 16.5. So her owners thought about it for a while and decided to start Lizzy's Fund to educate people about senior dogs and the joy they can bring to your life. And it just blossomed from there.
Okay, and you've been doing that ever since?
Ever since.
I love it. Gail, talk about how the fund itself, what does it do for senior dogs?
Well, there are organizations, rescue organizations and shelters out there who often will get an older dog. Sometimes that dog just needs a little tweaking, a little extra help so that it can be adopted. It's more desirable. So Lizzy's Fund steps in, helps that dog get the medical attention that it needs. Maybe it's a dental, maybe it's a grooming, maybe it's some surgery, maybe it's spay-neuter. And once that's done, that dog is more desirable and people are willing to look at that dog as a potential pet. That's what Lizzy's Fund does.
Okay.
Never give up on a dog.
I love that. So you're kind of just helping sort of create a great environment for that dog to be adopted.
Exactly.
Love that, love that. So that's quite a lot of things, Gail, that you're offering and providing to try to help senior dogs find their forever home. Talk a little bit, Bernie, about the types of care that Lizzy's Fund offers up.
Care is a very broad term in our purview. As Gail mentioned, it could be a simple surgery, it could be a tumor removal, it could be a dental, it could be heartworm treatments, vaccines, it could really be a whole variety of things. But then we also utilize a lot of alternative medicine.
Okay.
And which is really important for a senior dog. That could be chiropractic care, acupuncture, laser, massage, a whole variety of things. And for a senior dog, those are really important, so we utilize that a lot.
Okay, okay. Now you have a lot of funds, well, a lot, but you have a variety of funds that Lizzy's Fund funds. So explain those, would you, for us?
Well, Lizzy's Fund has 3 basic funds. The first is the general fund. And if you go to the website and you make a donation, it goes to the general fund, and that is the fund that is basically for organizations and rescues to provide the services that Bernie just described. However, there's also a fund called the Brody Memorial Fund, and that is a restricted fund, and it's just for collies. In fact, Ginger was a recipient of that fund. And that is a fund that is in memory of a dog named Brody, who was an incredible therapy dog. He went to Crone Middle School. He went to BB School for a long time. He went to just about every Humane Society in the area and worked with their summer camp kids. He was an amazing therapy dog. And what's really fun is the fact that here is a dog that came in. She was having troubles walking. She saw a chiropractor. She actually had to be put on a diet because she was so heavy. She couldn't get up. She couldn't run, that's for sure. And this dog now is running and playing, which is incredible. So there's a third fund, which is called Lizzy Care, and that is for dogs that enter hospice, a hospice situation. Like I said before, Lizzy's Fund, and this is why I volunteer for them, they do not give up. And even if the dog is in a situation where maybe its days are numbered, we want to make sure that that dog's cared for and doesn't have a day of suffering. And there are incredible people out there that are willing to be a hospice fosterer. Lizzy's Fund steps in and helps with that dog, takes care of its medical needs until the day it dies.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. So
It is.
three specific funds. That's great.
Correct.
Okay. Now, Bernie, 10 years old, it's a decade that you've been doing this. What's new? What you got up your sleeve?
This past year, we have really two things that we've entered into that we're excited about. The first one is using senior dogs to do human hospice care. Recently, we were, one of the rescues that we deal with, which is Collie Rescue, got a call from a man whose wife was being transferred into hospice, and they had had collies their whole life, and they would like a visit from a collie. So Gail and I grabbed a couple of collies, one of which was Ginger, and went to her nursing home along with a stuffed collie to leave with her. And we visited with Judy, who clearly was comforted by having these visits. When we left and we realized how important it was, we noticed that she had a picture of herself as a younger woman with a horse in her room. And her husband told us about the horse. So they invited us to come to their home when Judy was set up at home to finish her journey. And we came with the collies, of course, to visit again, which she thoroughly enjoyed. But we also have a friend who has horses. And with her husband's request, they brought two horses to stand in their picture window in the front so that Judy could see the horses. Well, once we got there, he invited the horses into the house.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And one by one, the first one named Ricochet, the littler, smaller one, came in, and she was thoroughly excited, you could tell, at this horse. And then they traded places, and the larger horse came in and took a carrot out of her hand. It was a wonderful experience. So we're going to do more hospice work as we go with our seniors. And the second thing is that we're partnering with Adopt Pet Shelter with their new Adopt low-cost spay-neuter clinic. And Lizzy is taking care of the financial expenses for dogs that come into the clinic from shelters and rescues, approved shelters and rescues, for dogs that are over 7. So we're really excited about that too, and we commend Adopt for providing such a great service to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for bringing Ginger and Pixie, who's kind of just a regular. I think she's setting up shop here, right?
Well, thank you to NCTV for giving us the opportunity.
And if you would like to learn more about Lizzy's Fund, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back.
Growing your family, opening your own business, retiring to travel, leaving your legacy. At Busey Bank, we know there's a lot to look forward to and a lot of planning along the way. Celebrate your life's milestones by putting your money to work. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, Say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now from the Naperville American Legion, Post 43, is Wayne Fisher. So nice to have you with me, Wayne.
My pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So let's just kind of start right off. What's the mission of the American Legion?
Well, it's a fourfold mission. Number one is to take care of our veterans. Number two, our active duty. Number three, our youth programs, and then the community. Anything we do in the community, we do together with the VFW because a lot of us are dual members. So it just works much better when all the veterans are available to come out, like for parades and things like that. So it works really well.
Yeah, and you're over, is it the Judd Kendall?
That's where we have our meetings and
Okay.
our dinners and everything there at the Judd Kendall Post. We still have our post home downtown.
Okay.
We rent out the first floor to Riff Menza, and that helps fund all our programs and stuff. And we take care of that building. It was bought back in World War II veterans, and they paid for it out of their own pockets. And today it was a tremendous investment, obviously, financially.
Little did they know, right?
That's right. That's right. So anyway, we stay focused on those four things.
Okay. Now, talk a little bit about whether you've got volunteer opportunities.
Well, we have a lot of committees and stuff, especially for our youth programs. We need a Legionnaire to take charge of those committees. But now we've got the Vietnam Wall of Remembrance coming, and we've got 30-some volunteers to be there from 6 in the morning till 10 at night to meet people, greet them, talk to them, answer any questions they might have, things like that. And that's 4-hour shifts. Those are pretty important to make that element really work and get the word out as to what the Vietnam War was all about, the good and the bad. I served there for 12 months and 20 days, stepped in country on my 24th birthday and wondered what I was doing there, but I had become middle-aged all of a sudden.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Now, you mentioned the Wall of Remembrance, which we were very blessed in this community to have that. I think it was about 8-9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago.
2015.
Yeah. Wow, time goes by quickly, right? So talk about that's leading into Veterans Day. So what else do you have sort of planned leading into Veterans Day?
Well, that's really the major thing. And the schools invite a lot of our veterans to come out to, spend some time in a couple classrooms, things like that. So we want to make sure we get our veterans out there in the schools. But we've had several meetings. We've got a lot of volunteers to be there, and I think this is the important thing, is to be there so they can answer questions, share, especially with our youth. We hope to have a pretty good turnout, not just scouts, but our high school kids especially, and see what questions they got. And
where's it going to be located?
It'll be at the Park District Grand Pavilion, which is right down the hill from the VFW.
It's really quite spectacular, and I think a very powerful symbol of service.
Yes.
And talk a little bit for people, because I think it's important to really understand what exactly is Veterans Day? Why is it important?
Well, Veterans Day, it's kind of like we're working counter here, because the Vietnam Wall of Remembrance has the 58,000 plus names of those men and women that were killed in Vietnam. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is there to honor our veterans. So it's kind of two things working, not necessarily together over time, but Veterans Day is very important. We do it every year. Both our posts together. We've had it done Veterans Park. This year we're going to do it at the Wall.
Okay.
Because we want to, again, draw people to that so they understand what the Vietnam War was all about. But as importantly is, again, recognize and honor our veterans that are with us today, because, a lot of veterans feel bad because, they didn't serve in combat. So they're not as good as the others. that has nothing to do with it. If you served your country, that's the important thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, once you put that uniform on,
You're serving.
You're serving.
Yes.
And that's really what we want to promote, the good things about it.
Oh, that's great. I mean, and really a good opportunity to come with your family and your children, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then traditionally, we've always had a turkey dinner at the VFW for anybody that wants to come on down. We fill the house and just have just a relaxing end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I think it's always interesting, and I love that your members are going out into the schools, because for many young people, they don't have anybody in their family who serves,
Right.
so there's no opportunity for kind of some of that oral history and the opportunity to ask questions that you might
That's right.
have, right? And this is what you're really promoting.
That's right. It's just, again, the comradeship and the working together is unbelievable. And that's not just in the Marine Corps, that's with the other branches too.
Yeah. Well, and that I think, and I know that you mentioned that one of your pillars is children and youth, and I
Right.
would imagine part of that conversation, the concept of teamwork and working together and service and all of that is part of what you're trying to do under that pillar,
Right.
and why you welcome children to so much of your
Well,
stuff.
because we have different programs. We have Premier Boys State. We have Girls State, and it's a week-long training. We fund them. We'll send out any number that wants to sign up, and we're really trying to get, after COVID now, we're trying to get it back up and moving. But it's a week-long event in Eastern Illinois University to learn about the government, how it works. They get every one of the young men that go, or the young ladies that go to Girls State, they're involved that week. We've got scholarship programs. Our post puts out 2 scholarships, $3,000 each, and again, it's just for students that really are serious about pursuing a college education and a career, and it's it's a lot of different programs like that, and
Yeah.
so it's again, our challenge is to get the word out.
Sure.
But in the age of electronics, I'm not the technology guy,
But you have people that do.
I have people and I know who they are,
Yes.
so we'll go after them to communicate.
You've got them enlisted, so that's
right.
good.
That's right. So it's working together again,
Nice.
and that's a beautiful thing about both the Legion and the VFW. Everybody works together.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your service, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for the work that you're doing now.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at Veterans Day.
I'll be there.
Okay,
I'll be dressed warm, but I'll be there.
that's great. To find out more about the Naperville American Legion Post 43, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back.
Busey Bank is proud to partner in building business and growing wealth since 1868.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from the Naperville Garden Club are Deb Tritt and Diane Greenewald. So nice to have you both on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Deb, I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about the mission of the club.
Well, we were formed in 1929, part of the Naperville Women's Club, and then they spun off on the Garden Club. Our mission is to encourage people in gardening, conservation, recycling, floral design. We have programs every month. In fact, last year we had the state climatologist come
Wow.
and give a program on global warming.
Very interesting, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to just give a little shout out because I'm always so grateful. Our good friend Gwen Lloyd from the Garden Club always does these amazing arrangements. Every episode of Spotlight, they're always spectacular. So shout out for the garden arrangements because those are good, right?
Yes.
Love that. Why is the club so involved? in the community?
You know, this is our main goal, is the beautification and support and learning and knowledge. So, but we also have a huge scholarship program that we promote those students that are interested in the green industry, your landscape designers, your engineers, your research people within the climate, the soil, etc. So we work very hard to get that money so that we can support the students, both high school all the way through grad school. And we also donate to Loaves and Fishes, which is a tremendous agency here in Naperville that supports our community for those people that are food insecure. We also do floral decorations at the Ronald McDonald House at Edward Hospital for those families that have children in the ICU, and we also donate food and juice packs and things for that group too. That's another way of sort of outreaching not only our love for floral design, but then also supporting those families who are in need too.
Absolutely. Well, it's certainly a pick-me-up, right? And I
Yes.
think even when you're in the darkest of times, you can appreciate some beauty in your day.
Yes.
It's a little bit of help.
Right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Deb, you've got fundraisers because obviously everything costs money. So tell us about your fundraisers.
Well, and the fundraisers basically are for the scholarship programs.
Yeah.
We have a plant sale around Mother's Day, which we've lovely, lovely plants. But the big one is Cup of Cheer, which this year is November 30th and December 1st. There's 4 homes that are decorated for the holidays that you tour. And then at the VFW Hall, we have our holiday market, which has the whole club makes tons of stuff to sell, beautiful things. And then we also have a tea that has homemade cookies, and we have a cookie contest. Our club is kind of competitive. So.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that about you ladies. Yes.
And then with each ticket, you get either a cup and saucer or a mug.
Yeah, these are beautiful. I mean, I have to say, and the mugs seem like they've really taken off.
Yes.
They have.
Yes.
Yeah, the tickets are $60 on Thursday because we sell less tickets, so there's less waiting. And then they're $45 on Friday.
Okay, wonderful. Now, say a little bit about how you select the houses, because I think people are always very interested in that.
Gwen just asks for volunteers. A lot of time when they've come through the year before, they say, oh, my house would be good for it. And then we have a couple local realtors that are helping us to find homes.
Okay, and do you do all the decorations or do the homeowners do them?
Mostly the homeowners, but we help.
Okay, all right. I can say, having gone on a few tours there, it does give you a lot of great ideas.
Yes, that's one of the, well, to see the houses too.
Yes, that's always nice as well, yes.
And they're not all giant houses. Some of them are the cute antique houses. So there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yes, but I do like, and I like the timing of it because it gives you ideas for how can I decorate my home for the holidays, which
Right.
I have taken a few of those ideas and tried to do them myself. Probably not as well, but that's okay. So if you buy the ticket, though, I think that's important to know. You do get either the mug or the teacup, depending on
Right, when you
your
come
choice.
to the VFW Hall for the market, you get your choice.
Okay. And Diane, you've been doing this a long time. What's something you think people should know about the Cup of Cheer?
Well, the tickets go on sale in October, and we're on a high. We have been selling out for probably even starting in COVID. We missed, of course, 2020, came back in 2021, and each year now we have been a sellout. So I have no china from other years.
Wow.
Too. So it's important to look at your schedules because November comes very quickly.
Yes.
We have Halloween, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then Cup of Cheer as we flip to December 1. So tickets go on sale probably next week. If you'll check our website, you'll see the locations that they're available.
Okay.
They can also be purchased off our website, and those tickets then are reserved then at our will call. And you can also mail your check and or money and give to us or to our ticket chairman, Barbara Heiner.
Okay.
So that is also on the website. And what's nice too, if you have a group, and we do have groups that make it part of their beginning holiday season. They come in 10s and 15 groups, person group. So we offer a discount of 10% if you come in a group, purchase all the tickets together. Those must be purchased from our ticket chair, Barbara, and all those details are on the website.
Okay, wonderful. Now, because I've also bought quite a few holiday gifts at the holiday market, so you got to get in there quick too. But you also typically have the display of all the cups, which I find to be fascinating, right? Will you have that again this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Deb Hep's.
we actually have a new display case. So
Two new
yes, hopefully
displays.
look, and it's very intriguing when people look at it and go, "Oh God, my grandma had that cup," and you know.
That's nice, right?
Yes.
Yes, I had a neighbor who used to put them as ornaments in her garden. She'd attach them to poles, and she came along, and they were beautiful. I mean, what a great way to sort of decorate the yard. So, Deb, as we're wrapping up, what other news from within the club?
Well, we have meetings the fourth Wednesday of every month, except December and January in the summer. But we have interesting programs, very educational. Our Patty Boyd, our program chair, does a lot of work to get very interesting, informative programs. We welcome guests. Anybody can come, and that information is on our website on how to send your check-in. We do have a continental breakfast with the meeting.
Nice.
So send your check-in, make a reservation, and come see a program. Try us out. You
I
might
like that. No hard commitment. You can just come by. Once you're in, you're in. And where do you meet?
At the Municipal Center.
Okay,
So
downstairs.
downstairs,
Perfect.
great parking.
Yes, that is good parking, and you've got breakfast, which I love that.
Right.
So wonderful. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Great job as always with your scholarship. I know those kids really, really appreciate it. It's and I love the green industry. I love how you talk about it that way. And we wish you very blue skies with a cup of tea.
Thank you.
And for more information about the Naperville Garden Club, please go and visit their website. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. To learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please visit our website at nctv17.org. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on social media. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching. This episode of Spotlight is brought to you by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.